Today, we are talking with Ashlee, who is a teacher and a member of my program, the Resource Academy. And she is going to tell us about her experience with my program, all of her success with her Teachers Pay Teacher store, and it is such a good episode. Ashlee is a fourth grade ELA teacher, mentor teacher, and creator behind Ms Gamification on Teachers Pay Teachers. She built a successful online business by blending her passion for engaging, gamified learning with practical resources that make teaching easier. When she's not in the classroom or mentoring fellow educators, she's probably at Disney with her daughter, book in hand, dreaming up her next creative project. Let's dive in. Welcome, everyone. I am so excited to chat with Ashlee. She is a member of our program, the Resource Academy. She also joined my team recently. So if you are a member of the Resource Academy, then you might see her in our group answering questions, or if you ever send us an email, she is fabulous with taking care of all of our customers and everyone on our email list. She's awesome. So Ashlee, I am so excited to chat with you today. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Lindsay. I'm happy to be here.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about yourself, what you're currently doing, who you are, all the things.
Okay, so I'm Ashlee. I am a single mom and a fourth grade teacher. I'm also a mentor teacher for my school, so I mentor new teachers. And I recently started, or actually completed, becoming TPT seller. So my store is Ms Gamification, and I've been selling for maybe a year and a half now.
Very cool. And how long have you been a teacher?
It's my 10th year of teaching, the golden 10th year.
Oh, and always in fourth grade or different grades?
Willingly, yes, in fourth grade. But have they moved me? Yes. I've done fifth grade and I did second grade for a while. Fourth grade's like my sweet spot. It's like right before the attitude hits.
Yep.
So it's the perfect fit for me. I teach gifted students mostly. And recently I've done ESE students. I've had ESOL students. So just depends on the year. But my goal is always to try to make learning fun. That's just my thing in my classroom. Every time kids come from third grade, they don't like reading. So my goal is always to try and make it, no, reading can be fun. Let's have fun this year. Let's play games. And that's why Ms Gamification came to pass.
Yeah.
Because I want you guys to have fun.
I love that. I love when teachers start their TPT stores based off of like what they're currently teaching or their current needs, because that's how I got started. I didn't have a textbook, and so I literally had to create resources for my students, and that sounds like that's what you did too. Like you needed fun activities for your kids, and you were already probably creating them or creating something like that, and you just learn how to actually list them the right way on TPT.
Exactly, because some things you just don't have as a teacher, especially being a gifted teacher. Early finisher activities, things for them to do that's still standards-based. There's not a lot available to you. A lot of schools focus on like the kids that are struggling, but they don't really focus on the kids that are excelling. And you can't have them just sitting there doing nothing. So a lot of my resources are based on, no, this is what you can do with when you're done. We're working on theme, then here's a theme choice board. You're gonna make sure you're expanding on those things.
That's a really good point. And I hadn't thought about that, but I do feel like a lot of teachers think that TPT is saturated, that there's probably thousands of fourth grade reading activities, and there probably are, but like finding those gaps in the market, that's really what I did too. Like I actually needed lower level resources. We didn't have a textbook. A lot of the stuff on TPT was too advanced for my high school math students. So I had to create lower level stuff. And so finding that gap, even within the broad range of high school geometry, I needed to find like a specific niche within that. And it sounds like that's what you did too. You need fourth grade reading activities for gifted and talented kids, you know?
Yes.
I love that.
Exactly what it is.
Okay, so I want to talk more about that, but let's go back to the beginning. When did you start creating resources? Maybe you didn't even know about TPT or selling on TPT. When did you start that?
Well, that's actually a funny story because I started, like, I always wanted to create activities because during my internship, my intern teacher did. And I was like, oh, I love that. She makes all her stuff. She didn't usually sell it, but she made everything from scratch. Oh, wow. So I was like, okay, going into teaching, I'm going to do the same. But then I tried to start a TPT store in 2017.
Okay.
And I was trying to like look at YouTube videos and Google things on how to start it. And I kept seeing this word called like flattening and securing.
Mm.
and I could not understand what it was. But every clip artist and like their terms of use said, make sure you flatten and secure. And I was trying to like look at Adobe and look what I need to buy. And it was like $500. And I'm like, no, you can't do this. So I literally put up my freebie in 2017 and then did nothing because I was scared to do anything else. That's it.
Yeah. I do feel like the flattening and securing is really confusing. No one really like explains it. Like
Nope.
what did those words are, they mean different things. What do they mean?
Yeah.
Why do you have to do that? And then I feel like every clip art artist has different rules or different verbiage, which
They
is
do.
confusing.
Yes. So I was like, I don't know what to do, and I don't want to do the wrong thing or violate somebody's terms of use.
Right.
So I put it up and I just didn't do anything further with it.
Makes sense. Totally makes sense. Okay. So obviously that was a struggle, not knowing the copyright stuff. Was there anything else you were struggling with? Was it maybe like time or any other struggles, or was that the main thing?
I think that was the main thing in copyright, because I think as a teacher, you see a lot of things on TPT. Like if I'm searching for a book, I can type in the name, search up something and pop up. But I knew that wasn't like the correct thing to do. So I didn't want to start my store not following rules as well. Because like I do a lot of stuff with Narnia, I do a lot of stuff with Hatchet, and I can find those activities, but am I allowed to use those activities?
Right.
So all those things kind of like paralyzed me with starting my store because I wasn't sure what to do.
Yeah, I do feel like reading and ELA teachers, even history teachers, sometimes it is a little bit harder because you're talking about published works, and then like what is the public domain, what is fair use, and all these terms that are thrown around. And some of the terms, they don't really have like a legal definition, like fair use. I was talking to my lawyer friend who is a copyright lawyer, and she says, like, yes, there are parameters around fair use, but if you were to go to court, like those parameters are kind of like not really real. And there are so many different exceptions to the rules, and it can be confusing. But I do want to say to everyone listening, don't let that scare you, because there are ways to find published works that can be used, the right way to use those published works, how to get permission, all the things. We're actually having my lawyer friend that I was talking about, Brittany Rattel. She's coming to do a Q&A with our members next week, so they can ask all those copyright questions, because I get it's really confusing. And, you know, I taught high school math, so I didn't have to deal with that. But because we have lots of ELA and reading teachers in our program, history teachers, we want to make sure we get those questions answered. So I totally get it. That can be confusing and a little bit scary when you're dealing with like the law.
But I also feel like that was one of the things that pulled me in after your challenge was when I was listening to you and listening to like the things I was like, oh, this is exactly what I was missing and why it stopped me the first time.
Yeah.
So I was super excited to find you.
Yeah, I'm so glad you did. So, okay, tell me, do you remember when you joined the challenge?
Yes. So the funny thing was I had my daughter unexpectedly early in November, and then she was in NICU for a while, and we were never home. But when I actually finally got home, and I think it was end of February, March, I was like, okay, she has to go to daycare, and my paycheck is not going to go anywhere. Like the teacher salary is just going to stay as teacher salary. It's not moving anywhere.
Right.
I was like, I have to figure out something I can do. And as a single mom, I can't just pick up a second job and go somewhere, because then I would never see her. So I was like, I have to do something at home. So I think I was on Facebook, and I saw a Facebook ad of your challenge, and it was like, learn how to make teacher resources. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm an expert in my field. Something I know. I make my stuff in my classroom all the time. And I was like, I need something. And I was like, that would be perfect, because bills just keep going up, and passive income or any additional income would be life-changing for us. Right. So I did your challenge. I did everything from scratch. And then I was like, okay, can I do this? And I was like, you know what? I need to invest in myself and invest in my future for my daughter. And I just went for it.
Yeah. And I'm sure as a single mom on a teacher salary, that wasn't an easy decision.
It wasn't, but I was like, the only thing that I can change in this scenario is what I do with my time. I think you have to like determine what's worth the investment. And I was like, this is definitely worth the investment for me, because I'm going to make the money back. I didn't give myself an option either. It was like, I'm going to put all my effort in this, and I am going to be successful. There was no other choice. I want to make sure my daughter has a good future. So that was my driving force.
I love that. That's kind of how I started too. I was like, I have to figure this out because I want to stay home. Like that's my goal. That's what I want. And like you said, I'm not giving myself an option. I've got to figure this out. I love that you committed to yourself and you invested in yourself, because it is hard, especially if you're not used to that. And I feel like as teachers, we aren't used to that. Like I remember, as a teacher, when I had the teacher salary, like agonizing over paying the $60 a year fee for TPT. And those of you who are listening, and if you don't know what that is, so TPT has a yearly fee of $60 if you do the premium, which I highly recommend. At the time, they had a free account, and then they had the $60 a year. It wasn't, now they have the $30 one-time fee or the $60. I was like, I just want to stick with the free, like $60. That's so much. Like, I don't know if I'm going to earn this money back. But then I said to myself, I'm going to do this, and I have to earn the money back, plus a lot more to make this worth it. So it is hard, but I feel like once you make that first investment, then it gets a little bit easier, and you realize that it's not paying money, it's investing in your business, expecting that money to come back plus a lot more.
Yes. And you have to go with that mindset. I feel like as a teacher author, first of all, you know what teachers need, you know what students need.
Yes.
So if you put that time and effort into it and basically follow your course, is what I'm going to say, because that's what I did, then you're going to see that investment back. Like, I think, what was it? I started off slow, but then I started off in like April. So we had that June, July month that's a little bit slower in the summer, but I use that time to like bulk up for August. I think I only had about maybe 20, 25 products, but I hit my first 3-figure month in August. I think I had made over $200 in August. And I was like, okay, that was my motivation. Keep going, going, add things that you need, keep on going. And I think it paid off.
For sure. It definitely paid off. So I just want to make sure I get this right. So you joined us in 2024, correct?
Yes.
In March of 2024 when we had that challenge?
Yes.
Okay.
So I started the March challenge, and then I was on maternity leave. Like, I think it was like the week before I went back to work as well.
Okay.
Okay, this is a sign. I need to jump in here and keep going. So I started with the color by number challenge. And the funny thing is that color by number that I made during our challenge is one of my best sellers.
Oh, that's awesome.
It, like, people love that one. Like, it sells weekly. And I'm like, oh, okay, I don't know what about it, but I was like, made it in the challenge, and it has been successful. Started building that in the challenge, and then I watched your course, and I learned how to set it up, how to put my copyright, how to optimize my thumbnails, my covers, and then I put up my first product in April.
And before that, you only had a freebie, correct?
Yes, I had maybe like 2,000 downloads, but that's it. That's all I had. Well, I had it before the $30 increase.
Yes.
So I think I didn't even wait that long to upgrade my store. I think I waited like in April, I made $20, and I was like, you know what? They're taking too big of a cut. I'm upgrading, and never look back.
Yeah, I feel like as soon as you've made $5 in a month, like, go ahead and upgrade, because you're paying for it, and you're going to get that 80% versus the 55%. I get this a lot. I don't know where this like misconception came from. I get this a lot on my ads where people are saying like TPT takes so much. And with the free account, yes, 55% is a lot. Like, well, they take 45%, you keep 55%. That is a lot. But I will say, paying them the 20% and me keeping the 80% is so worth it, because they handle so much. Like, they handle your customer service. We're not even allowed to give refunds, which honestly I love, because I don't want to deal with it.
No, exactly. I completely agree.
They are driving traffic. They pay for ads. They do Google ads. They have ads on their website. They do Facebook ads. So they're bringing in traffic. They're a reputable site. I can go on and on, but it's totally worth it. And compared to other sites, like, they have the most traffic out of any other teacher resource website, for sure.
And that's where you go. If you're a teacher in the classroom and you want something to supplement or an activity to do, you go to Teacher Pay Teachers. So that's the place that I go every time.
Almost all teachers know TPT.
Yes, and I don't think that $60 is a ridiculous amount for the year. If you divide that by 12 months, that is barely anything they're asking you per month, and you're getting a bigger profit. Exactly.
Yeah. I feel like some people say, well, why not, sell on Etsy, because Etsy doesn't have like a recurring fee like that. But Etsy charges you for every resource you upload.
Yes, every listing.
So,
TPT, if something's not selling, it's not hurting you.
Exactly.
But Etsy, if you post it and it's not selling, you're taking away your profits.
Exactly. Yeah, I asked ChatGPT if I were to list my resources on Etsy versus TPT, like how much would I make for both? And it was about the same because of the amount of resources that I have in my store. However, Etsy is not 100% teacher traffic. Etsy does not have the same customer service. Like everything is on you. They don't handle customer service. They don't handle refunds, all of that. So I'm not saying don't sell on Etsy or other websites, but I would always recommend starting on TPT, which is the best for teachers.
I 100% agree.
I can get on my soapbox about that because I get that all the time. I'm like, where did you hear that? Like, TPT is amazing.
I agree. I've had a great experience on TPT.
Yes. I have to. So what updates did you make to your store after joining? We kind of already talked about that. You only had a free resource and then you started uploading other types of resources. Do you know how many resources you have in your store now?
I have, I think, 104 now.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yes, I churn it out. Yes, there's no other choice. You have to keep going. Yeah. So I took the course and I started with the printables because I felt like I was comfortable with activities that were printed. Yeah. And one of the things I think that was the best thing about TRA is the Facebook group and the challenges. Yeah. Because some of my other bestsellers came from our monthly challenge. Yeah. So I would push myself to do the challenges that were posted. And I think one of the ones that we did was choice boards in May. And I did choice boards. I did ELA choice boards connected to the standards. And I have sold, I think, maybe over 200 of them. Like they are my next top seller in my store. So I love that not only do we have the course, but we have those challenges that push you. And it really helped my business like push it forward. Actually, I think I sold like 5 of them yesterday. Like it's so motivating to have a challenge each month and have a goal to do. So I think in conjunction, those two things are amazing. I took the course and I updated my titles. I updated my description, my covers. I had no idea about thumbnails and previews. Yeah. So I took the templates from the course. I started getting a little well-versed in Canva and I updated everything. And I created a template for myself, made copies, and then just kept going.
Yeah. And I just want to be really clear when I say like, this is not the fast and easy way to make money. Like as Ashlee's talking, she's putting in the work. Like she is putting in the work. And we're going to talk in a second about like when she's working as a single mom and a full-time teacher job, because I feel like that stops some people. But you do have to put in the work, especially in the beginning, to build your store, to upload quality resources, to upload them the correct way. So you don't have to go back and redo it, which I have had to do in the past. I spent a couple of years uploading my 300 and something resources. Now I haven't uploaded anything in like 3 years, but in the beginning I was hustling
to churn it out. Yes.
Because you're not going to sell something if it's not listed.
That's where TRA comes in as well, because a lot of my early products there's so many templates you can use. There's so many different ones that are helpful and make things faster. And I realized that if instead of making like one product here and one product here, I started like doing like a week of the same thing. So if I'm making color by number, all week I'm making color by number. Yeah. So then when I'm posting and doing my covers and previews, I'm really just switching out and making minor adjustments and uploading all of the same thing. And that really was a game changer for me as well.
I love that. Then are you bundling them together? Are you doing bundles?
I sure am. Yes. I try to do the same topic. So if I'm doing text features, I'll do different text features activities and then bundling them together. And I also think that bundling is also what kind of is driving my store upwards, because at the beginning it was more just here's a $3 resource, here's a $3 resource. But when you start bundling and combining things, teachers love saving money. And they also love multiple activities they can use over time, not just a one and done type of activity. So I also feel that bundling things together has really helped my store grow.
Exactly. And when you get teachers that find one of your resources and they figure out, oh my gosh, I love this seller, I need more from them. And then they see a whole bundle and they're saving money with that bundle. They're like, yes, that's what I need. I used to be that kind of buyer because I used to buy on TPT all the time in the classroom. So yeah, that's so smart. I love bundles. I love product lines. It's such a smart way to scale quickly.
It is. And I think my lowest month has only been summer, but I've made 3 figures every single month. I had no idea Easter was such a game changer, but
Mm,
teachers really buy for Easter. Elementary teachers, I don't know what happens at Easter, but that was my first 4-figure month and it was amazing. Just
that's
seeing
awesome.
$100 days going on my phone, cha-ching,
Yes,
cha-ching, was so rewarding. And it just made me feel like, okay, what I'm doing is working, keep going.
I love that. Yeah, I would not have thought, I don't have any Easter products in my store. I would not have thought Easter, especially with public school. Like, I, I don't know. Maybe elementary is a little bit different with Easter because they do like the Easter egg hunts and stuff.
Yes, I made an Easter egg hunt. I also started like bundling things together that I didn't think would sell, like making like a holiday bundle of things.
Oh yeah.
And it was like $12 for the bundle. I was like, oh my goodness, this is so expensive. And then people were just buying it. And I was like, oh my, why am I underselling myself? Clearly it's working. So I was a little hesitant to go over $10 for things, but
Yeah.
I people are purchasing it. So don't undersell yourself either when you start. Like if you are putting enough all together and discounting it, people will come.
They absolutely will. Yes, for sure. Yeah. Well, I remember when I first listed one of my curriculums for, $300. I was like, there's no way. There's no way anyone's going to buy a full curriculum, but they did. And they still do all the time. It's
Yeah,
insane.
you
'Cause
just never know.
they need it.
You never know. I know people are like, well, they're teachers, but teachers also want, like, they don't need extra stress in their classroom. So if they
Yes,
can buy something that goes with their standards, that helps them in the classroom and is meaningful, they will. It saves
yes,
them time.
exactly. And time is our most valuable resource, not money. And I feel like a lot of teachers don't
Exactly.
realize that. And if they don't have a textbook, like what are they going to do? Or if they don't have the adequate materials, what are they going to do? They have to do something. So we know how many products are in your store. We know you are hustling to add resources. Can you tell me, you kind of already told me you're making 3-figure months. You made your first 4-figure month, which is amazing. Congratulations. Are there any other stats or results that you want to share? Like views have gone up, click-through rates, anything like that?
Oh my goodness, my views have definitely gone up. Even I think the first year of TRA versus this year. I think last year my views were somewhere around like 1,000, 2,000, and I'm already close to 6,000 this year. And I've gone back and I've updated my descriptions. I also updated my previews because before we had the watermark with the preview over it,
Yes,
and then we changed the template to like actually describe your previews, and I
yes,
think that was a game changer in my store as well.
for sure.
And I love that. That's one thing I love about TRA. The updates just keep coming and they're relevant to what's happening in TPT now. So you still stay on trend and keep up with other stores. So I love that it was updated and I could go in, relearn things, and fix it in my store.
Yes, for sure. We are adding updates on a monthly basis for sure. Anytime TPT comes out with something new, I'm like, all right, we got to get this done. We got to make
Yes,
sure
I
that
love
our
that.
people know
And
what to do.
exactly. And even my stats for this month in August, I think last year I made 200 for the entire month. But I also think that the last half of the month was my bread and butter. Like that's when I really started making money.
Yeah,
And this month I'm already above my last year in less than 2 weeks.
that's great.
So
And we still have
yeah,
one more site-wide sale.
exactly. That's why I was like, okay, this is gonna be a good month. Like
More is
it's just
coming.
daily cha-chings, and I'm like, oh, even on the weekends, because I feel like sometimes the weekends is like crickets.
Yes,
But this whole month I've sold every day on the weekend. So
I
we're
love
in a good trajectory for August for sure.
August is always the best. For sure. I just love that. I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy for all your success. You have put in the work and it has paid off and you're just doing amazing. What advice would you give to someone who is just starting their TPT store or maybe they don't even have a store yet? What would you say to them?
I would say first, don't do it on your own.
Mm,
It is easy to say, I don't want to spend any more money. I think I can do this on my own.
yeah,
But the amount of stress and Googling and videos you have to watch just to try to piece things together that you might not get all the pieces for, it's not worth it. So invest in yourself. TRA is what you should do because it'll give you the steps you need and help you start it without the stress. And it's lifetime access. So even if you can't start it tomorrow, today, you can come back anytime and start your store. And you not only have resources you can make with templates, you have clip art, you have fonts, you have videos to set up your store, walk you through uploading a product. So like every single thing that you have questions about, I feel like TRA answers. So there's no reason not to invest in yourself. I made my money back from TRA in less than 4 months. And the only reason it wasn't sooner is because the summer months were in the middle of that.
Yeah.
But I made my investment back quickly, in my opinion, because I was like, if I'm going to put this money in, I'm going to make sure that I work hard and get my money back. And I did.
Yes. When you pay attention. Yes. I love that.
Exactly.
I thank you for saying that, because I really, truly, like, this course is my passion project. And like, my goal is to make it like your one-stop shop for everything you need to be successful on TPT. So I'm glad to hear that it sounds like it was for you. And anytime, someone asks us, can we have this? Can we have that? We try to have it. Like, we try to make sure that our members are happy. That is like my number one goal, is to make every member feel loved and heard and appreciated and seen and successful. So
yes, and every time even my coworkers ask me, I tell them about your course. I'm like, look, when there's a challenge, or if you want to take the free training, go for it, because this is going to be what you need, and it's going to walk you through how to start your store. So if you need extra income, that is what you should do. So I recommend it. I truly believe in it, and I recommend it to everyone I know.
I love that. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, so tell me a little bit about your schedule right now for those that are full-time teachers. Maybe they're also a single mom, or they don't have a lot of free time. When do you work, and how do you get this all done?
Okay, so I made myself a schedule. I'm not a super stickler with schedules, but I try to stick to as much as I can. So I work from 9 to like 4:45 at school. I pick up my daughter, we get home, we do dinner, we do reading, bath time, and bedtime. She goes to sleep around 8 o'clock. So around 8, I say, okay, let me grab something to eat. And then I work until about 11:30, midnight, depending on my night. So I might work between 2 to 3 hours a night. And then on the weekends, I give myself the option. So if I want to do something, I want to relax, I'm allowed to relax.
Yeah.
However, if a holiday is coming up, or something I need in my classroom, or a sale is coming up, I'm working. Okay. Because I know that it's going to pay off. And I also feel like last year, the months that I didn't upload were okay, they were decent. But the months I did upload, I saw a huge success. So I feel like you have to try to commit and put in that time. And I know the best time for me to work and focus is when my daughter is asleep. So that is my time to get everything done. And does it always work when you're exhausted with school? No, there might be a day I say, you know what, I'm not going to work tonight. But then for me, I make it up a different day, because I want to make sure I'm investing in building my business. And I think it goes hand in hand. So you have to make your schedule and stick to it if you want to be successful. You can't just work 1 hour a week and say, that's going to be it. If you're starting off, you have to invest your time in yourself.
Do you ever work at school, like during school hours?
Absolutely not.
No.
Because I think it's like a murky area depending on what your school policies are. And sure. I don't want to use their computer. I don't want to use their internet, because they have all access to that. So absolutely not. If I make something in my class, I will recreate it at home if I want to use it, but I don't use whatever I make at school at home, because I want to make sure my business is separate and it's all mine.
Yeah, that's really smart. I did not do that. I always recommend now that people do that, especially like if there's anything weird in their contract. Luckily, I knew my principal very well, and she knew that I was selling on TPT, and she was fine with that. And she actually like asked me to make stuff for her. So it was a little bit different, but definitely like fill out your principal, your admin, read your contract, know exactly what it says. Because some contracts do say, whatever you make for your classroom is the property of the school district, which, by the way, is crazy. And I think that that's so a word that I don't want to say. But just make sure that you cover your bases and you know what your contract says. But do you feel like you're a night owl? Because I could never work at night. I am
such a night owl. I'm not a morning person, and I'm a night owl. Yes. So sometimes I stay up even later, but I try not to, because I know I need some sleep, because my daughter is unpredictable at night, and she usually sleeps in the night. But there are some nights where I'm going to bed at like 1:30, because I'm determined to get something posted and finished. Yeah. And I hear, "Hi, mommy." I'm like, no. And then I have to stay up later. So I'm like, so I try to like cut myself off a little bit earlier in case she wakes up,
Yeah.
because you never know how your night is going to go, and I still have to teach the next day.
Yeah, that's so true.
And then I was also going to say, the reason, if I hadn't had your course, then I probably would work during my school hours. But because I took the course, I knew that it might be murky area. That's why I did it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
TRA helped me with that too, because I'm like, and a lot of people have those questions. So I knew that was a no. So that's why I knew ahead of time, because I had you.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people don't realize that that could be in their contract. And then it's too late. You know, they get in trouble, or the district is like, no, this is ours, or you have to shut down your TPT store. I will say I don't hear that happening often. So I don't want to like scare you if you're thinking about that. But you just always, I would rather be safe than sorry when it's legal stuff, you know?
Read through your contract, check it out.
Okay. Well, I just so appreciate this, Ashlee. I always ask any guest on my podcast this quick question, and that is, what is one act of generosity that you have done or plan to do? It can be with your students or with your daughter or family, anything.
I think my biggest give back is being a mentor. I think it's really hard for new teachers to come in now, and I think with kids are changing, behaviors are changing, and it's a little bit of a struggle for them. So I love being a mentor and going in their classroom, giving them confidence, helping them. One of my mentees, she left to go to another school, and she still texts me every day. I'm still helping her with her getting her teaching certificate, setting up those things for her, because I truly believe in her. And it's my passion. Like, I want students to have good teachers, and I want to be a part of not only being a good teacher for my students, but also affecting other classrooms. So I think it's really meaningful, because before it was just my classroom, these are my kids, but now no, I go in several different classrooms and help out the teachers and kids. So I adore my new role as a mentor.
I love that. And I can tell just from how you work with our teachers in TRA that you have a passion for helping people and making sure everyone feels heard and loved. So I'm sure you're an excellent teacher mentor for those first year teachers.
I love it.
Well, thank you so much, Ashlee. Tell everyone where they can find you. We'll make sure to put your link below. Is it Ms Gamification, right?
Yes, it would have had a period there, but TPT didn't like a period in the titles when I first started. So it's definitely Ms Gamification. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on TikTok, and then I have my TPT store as well. So anybody can find me in any of those places.
I love that store name too. That's so clever. So we'll make sure to put all of those links below so that you can find Ashlee, check out her store. If you are a 4th grade teacher, buy all the things from her, because her resources are fabulous. And if you want to join Ashlee and the other 6,000 educators inside TRA, we do have a free training. It's lindsaybowden.com/training. It will get you started. It'll tell you everything that's included and let you in at a big discount. All right. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.